Welcome to Daily Gossip. You will get daily Hollywood and sports updates here. Remember to subscribe for the latest videos. Today's story is not just about a game. It's about growth, redemption, and the power of change in the crucible of NBA playoff pressure. It's about a man many considered the league's villain, Draymond Green, and another known for his stoic toughness, Steven Adams. A moment between them has stirred old memories and sparked fresh conversations across the basketball world. Let's dive deep into this emotional and gripping transformation, tracing nearly a decade of rivalry, redemption, and the beauty of unexpected sportsmanship. Draymond Green, the defensive heart and emotional engine of the Golden State Warriors, has never been a stranger to controversy. From flagrant fouls to fiery ejections, from public feuds with teammates to viral rants in post-game presses, Green's name has long carried a polarizing weight in NBA circles. And perhaps no moment better encapsulated his villain arc than that fateful night in the 2016 Western Conference Finals, when the Warriors were locked in an epic battle against Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and the Oklahoma City Thunder. In Game 3 of that series, Green delivered a now infamous kick that landed squarely on Steven Adams, the Thunder's rugged big man, known for his toughness and quiet demeanor. The incident sparked media frenzy, split fan opinion, and painted Green in a light that would shadow him for years. Adams didn't retaliate. He didn't scream or complain. He simply winced and walked it off, becoming an instant meme and the quiet embodiment of NBA grit. But behind that stoic look was a rivalry that would linger for nearly a decade. Fast forward to the 2025 NBA playoffs. The Golden State Warriors, after years of ups and downs, were once again fighting for their legacy. Their dynasty had aged. Steph Curry was 37. Klay Thompson had transitioned to a mentoring role with the Mavericks. And Draymond Green, he was still here, still grinding, still talking. But something about him had changed. He wasn't the same. Volatile figure from the 2010s. Years of reflection, criticism, and mentorship had smoothed the edges of the man once defined by his outbursts. He had matured. But few outside the Warriors' locker room believed it. That was until a press conference following a tense playoff game. Reporters asked Steven Adams, now a seasoned veteran with the Grizzlies, about a physical play involving Green. Would he describe it as dirty? Did it feel personal? Would he expect a fine? And then, the moment. Adams, never one to feed drama, simply smiled and said, "That's just Draymond being Draymond. It's physical basketball. No hard feelings. He's always played like that. It's nothing new. And honestly, it's not malicious." A hush fell over the room. The same Steven Adams, who took a brutal hit from Green nearly a decade ago, was now defending him. Not with sarcasm or forced professionalism, but with sincerity. And just like that, the tide began to turn. That quote ricocheted across the sports world. On Inside the NBA, Charles Barkley called it a grown man move. Shaquille O'Neal nodded and added, "That's what the league needs. Guys understanding. Competition without holding grudges." Social media erupted. Some fans were stunned. Others said it was proof of Draymond's evolution. A few cynics claimed Adams was just being political, but most recognized the depth of the moment. Here was one of the NBA's most respected enforcers, extending grace to its most polarizing. It wasn't always like this. After that 2016 kick, Green was fined, but not suspended. The Warriors came back from a 3-1 deficit, won the series, and reached the finals, only to blow a 3-1 lead of their own against LeBron James and the Cavaliers. That summer was a turning point. Kevin Durant joined the Warriors. The NBA landscape shifted. and Green became even more vocal, sometimes to his own detriment. He feuded with Durant, clashed with referees, and racked up fines. Yet through it all, Green remained one of the league's most effective defenders and emotional leaders. But admiration rarely followed. To many, he was simply the guy who kicks people. The years passed. The Warriors won more championships. Adams went to the Pelicans, then the Grizzlies. Their paths occasionally crossed, but never with the animosity of that 2016 series. Something had cooled. Perhaps it was age. Perhaps it was perspective. Perhaps it was simply the passage of time. And then 2025 happened. Green had just returned from a mid-season suspension for an altercation, trying to rehab his image. In interviews, he spoke about accountability, fatherhood, and the burden of leadership. "I used to think yelling made me a leader," he said. "Now I know listening does." So when Steven Adams, a man known for keeping his words few and his fists ready, publicly validated Green's growth, it felt real, it felt earned, and fans took notice. Comment sections flooded with rare praise. Maybe Draymond really did change. Adams is as real as it gets. If he says it's cool, it's cool. NBA Twitter, usually quick to meme or mock, offered cautious optimism. And for Green, it wasn't just about a moment of grace. It was a turning point in how the league, the media, and fans viewed his legacy. That night, after Adams' comments, Draymond was asked about it. He paused. You could see the emotions simmering beneath the surface. "I respect Steve. Always have. Even back in 2016, when things got heated, he played the game the right way. To hear that from him, it means more than I can say. I'm still learning, still growing, but I appreciate that." This mutual respect didn't just impact fans. It lifted the Warriors' locker room. Younger players, like Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody, spoke about how Green's leadership felt different this year. "He listens more," Kuminga said. "He's still intense, but it's not wild energy anymore. It's focused." Steve Kerr, the only coach Draymond has ever had in the NBA, added, "Draymond's evolution has been powerful to witness. He's still the same competitor, but he's matured emotionally. And moments like this with Steven Adams, they're the proof." In the next game, Green and Adams battled once more, setting screens, throwing elbows, crashing boards. But when the final buzzer sounded, cameras caught a rare sight: a handshake, a smile, a brief hug between two warriors in every sense of the word. It wasn't forced. It wasn't PR. It was real. And in that moment, a decade of noise seemed to fade. The narrative was shifting, not erasing the past, but reframing it. Draymond Green was no longer just the NBA's antagonist. He was a veteran with scars, regrets, and now respect. As the playoffs rolled on, the story continued to unfold. Draymond delivered vintage performances, diving for loose balls, orchestrating defense, and even hitting clutch shots. But more than his stats, it was his composure that made headlines. Fewer technicals, calmer interviews, smarter plays. Fans began to root for him, not in spite of his past, but because of his journey. And in the background, the echo of Adams' words lingered like a silent endorsement. This man has changed. It's rare in sports, or in life, to see such a public arc of transformation. Most narratives are fixed, hero or villain, but every now and then, someone breaks the mold. Green isn't perfect. He'll never be. But in 2025, he's rewriting his story, and it started with a kick, then a feud, then a decade, and finally, a moment of forgiveness. This is why we watch sports. Not just for the dunks, the buzzer beaters, or the highlight reels, but for the human stories beneath the jerseys, for the rivalries that heal, for the grudges that dissolve, for the unexpected grace from the unlikeliest sources. So the next time you see Draymond Green yelling on the court or Steven Adams setting a bone-crushing screen, remember that behind those gladiator moments are men who've grown, evolved, and taught us something along the way, that it's never too late to change the narrative. This has been Daily Gossip, your home for the most emotional, dramatic, and human stories in sports and entertainment. If this powerful story moved you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more daily updates. And let us know in the comments, has your opinion on Draymond Green changed after this moment?